Do you know what makes the greatest impact on updating your kitchen? What do people notice first? It is your countertops. But most people don't really know what goes into it, how to choose, and how to install. Thanks so much for coming. This is Mary Jo with eXp Realty, HGTV. We're not HGTV. And this segment is going to tell you how long it takes, what the process is. It's not in an hour with commercial breaks, and what you should expect. So I'm so excited. I'm here with Tanya Otten at Select Services in Plymouth, who is a stone and installation company. And Tanya has some great things to tell us. So before we get into it, I'd love you to please sign up below so I can be in touch, let you know what's coming, or if you have questions, concerns, give me a holler. Let me know what you'd like to hear. So let's move right along. Thank you, Tanya, for being here or letting us come here today to talk about Select Services and what people need to know in either remodeling or replacing their countertops or fireplace surfaces and all of that. So can you tell people, how did you get into this? Now you install for Select Services, correct?
We do. So we have actually a long family history in the industry. Our dad started a kitchen and bath company when we were young. Our grandfather was a custom cabinet maker in the Twin Cities. And so we really grew up in this industry.
When did you get your first tool belt?
Oh, I don't remember. But about 30 years ago, we had an older brother that was importing quartz into the U.S. for the first time, and it was silestone. At the time, there was not a lot known about it. It was fairly new to the U.S., and he had offered to my brother Jeremy, who founded Select Surfaces, and was doing tile install at the time, to have a chance to work with this material. And Jeremy really just fell in love with the fabrication, the interaction with the homeowner, and kind of transformed the company at that time from tile install to countertop.
So when did you get into the business, the family business? When did you join?
It is a family business. So as Jeremy was getting the company up and rolling, he kind of slowly recruited some of our siblings to come in. So about 20 years ago is when I joined the Select Services team.
It went from, can you help out on Saturday morning, to a full-time job?
No, and actually I kind of took a little bit of a leap. I went from a full-time job to helping out in the showroom at our first showroom in Roseville. I was doing all the estimates, I was scheduling all the measures, wearing lots of different hats, which you do when you're getting a business up and running.
One of those is a little construction hat?
Yes,
absolutely. Well, thank you. That's really interesting. I think when people have family businesses, correct me if I'm wrong, but they just have more invested in the business and the relationship with their client than sometimes certainly more than the big box companies. Can you talk about what clients need to know about choosing surfaces, where people use them, and then we'll get into some other questions as well.
Yeah, so the selection process is pretty easy and fun in our showrooms. We typically are working with customers that are replacing countertops. We are doing a lot of full panel shower surrounds, and we're also doing a lot of slabs for fireplace installations, which are really fun and pretty too.
You have this enormous backsplash that I'm seeing a lot. I'm seeing a lot in new construction.
Yes.
Are you using that in remodeling older homes as well?
We definitely are. The quartz material that we're working with is so easy to live with. It's maintenance free. So the realm has kind of expanded. It used to just be countertops, and now people are realizing, I don't have grout or any major maintenance if I do it on the backsplash, and I don't have any soap scum in the shower. I can just squeegee things off.
Just one squeegee and you're done.
So when somebody realizes how really easy this material is to live with, they seem to want to use it in multiple places.
Are you using any quartz for flooring?
You can use quartz for flooring. There's a couple of the manufacturers we work with that will cut it into a tile. There is a lot of quartz in the Mall of America, in the airport, places with really high traffic. It's very, very durable.
Wow. It doesn't scratch or anything?
It is a material that will outlast the building. It's very, very durable.
Wow.
And not as much maintenance. There's no buffing and polishing and all those things that you see in
a little bit.
Yep.
Yes. Well, that's a huge savings over time.
It can be.
Yes, definitely. What are the most common misconceptions people have when they start a remodeling project? No, can I clarify?
Yes.
You work with designers, contractors, and homeowners.
We do.
So where do you come into the process?
So typically in a project that involves a countertop, it's either new cabinetry or just countertop replacement. When you're dealing with new cabinetry, the cabinets absolutely have to be set and permanently installed for us to take a good digital template.
Well, before we mention some of the people who are doing the DIY, they're assembling their own cabinets.
And that can be a really great process, but it also can be tricky. So if you are buying a ready to install cabinetry, just make sure that it is really soundly assembled and installed. That's typically an issue we have come across, is maybe the integrity of the assembly isn't as structurally sound. Because
of the weight of all of this.
Yes.
Right. And let's talk about older homes, for example. So if somebody has an early 1900s and 1920 home, can they put in a big assembly like this?
They can. We definitely take a couple extra steps. With older homes, construction was not done the same as a modern home, so we want to make sure that
it's all by hand.
That the floor joists can handle the weight, especially when we're dealing with larger islands, which are really popular today.
Well, we were talking too about when you have a big island like this. How long is this island?
I believe it is 9 feet.
Okay, and you have an overhang. So when you have this much stone, and people often have, the dishwasher here and a wine cooler there and at least 4 people over there. That's a lot of weight.
It can be a lot of weight. Yes, so we just want to make sure that the home is structurally sound and can hold that weight. In modern construction, we have no worries. We know that the home can handle that amount of weight. The weight is evenly distributed, and it works just fine.
Okay, terrific. And then if there's a deep overhang, you have to have extra supports in there sometimes?
You do. So we have a general rule of thumb. It's 2/3 on, 1/3 off. Anytime you're following that rule, you're generally safe, except for when you have a cutout in the middle. Then you get weak points at the edge of the sink, so we'll add brackets and supports or give recommendations on how to support that. But you can go much farther than a 24-inch cabinet and a 12-inch overhang. It just needs to be supported correctly.
Terrific.
But that's part of our process, is we will walk you through all those guidelines and make sure that you are that we're installing something that is safe and is going to hold up for you.
So you were talking too that Select Services, you don't just install the countertops. You do other services for a homeowner as well.
We do. We have a full countertop replacement option where we will do everything start to finish. We'll remove the existing countertops. We'll disconnect and reconnect the plumbing. We can disconnect and reconnect the range and move that out of the kitchen for countertop replacement. We'll come and measure, we'll come and install, and then we can even help with the backsplash. So we can remove old tile splash. We can install new tile splash or install a full height quartz splash as well.
Wow, that's really interesting. So do you work more with homeowners? Do you work more, designers come to you? Do contractors come to you? How do you?
Quite a bit of both.
Where do you start?
So our business really was founded around the trade. So our primary clients are designers and contractors and builders. Especially in today's market, not all contractors want to do just a countertop replacement for a homeowner. It's considered a small project. So we've expanded our business to offering that full countertop replacement.
Counters, the plumbing, and everything to
sinks and faucets.
Wow, that's a lot.
Yeah.
Okay, so when people are watching HGTV, and we know it's an hour show, and you've got commercial breaks, and they go from really rough and dingy to the end of the hour, voila, it looks like Starship 7.
Right.
So, and I've watched some of these programs, and it's just, I believe it. And I'm going, no, I know this is not how it works. Can you address that a little bit?
So we have one experience. Our location in Chicago did a Bath Crashers episode, and it took 6 months to plan and prepare for that project. We had to build the countertop ahead of time. And then the episode just flew by with filming. We were given specific instructions and a timeline. We have to be waiting outside. They basically tell us go. We come in. We have a very short amount of time to install that countertop, and then we're out the back door. And the project.
So it's 6 months of prep.
So much planning.
And then boom, you're gone.
Yes.
So what is a normal timeline? How do you start? How should homeowners prepare?
So a normal timeline really starts with selections, making a visit to one of our showrooms.
That's the fun part.
That's the fun part. And we will walk you through all the selections that you need to make in order to be prepared for your project. So from the countertop color, to the edge, to the sink, to the faucet, the soap dispenser, all the little details, the radiuses, we will get that all pre-planned. And then from there, we come and do a digital template. So either measuring on those new cabinets, or if you're replacing a countertop, we can measure right with the countertops in place. Once we have done a measure, we do a final order review. So we'll make sure all the selections are exactly how you want. In the meantime, you're not without a kitchen. So once you press go and we're off into production, the countertop takes about 3.5 weeks to fabricate. The good news is you can keep your kitchen in place while we're working on that. And then if we're doing the countertop replacement, we will plan to basically be in and out of your home in just a few days. We'll line up the schedule for the removal, for the plumbing, for the installing, for the reconnect, all within just a couple of days. So planning can be pretty simple.
But it's months of planning anyway. So even if they're just replacing cabinets or countertops, then you have to plan and measure and choose.
Yes.
So you want to make sure people are really confident in their selection, because you can't take stone back.
Absolutely.
So I would say maybe a little more time intensive with the clients to make sure that they're absolutely sure that this is what they love.
Definitely.
One thing that we were talking about before too is that your kitchen is not a runway. It is not a fashion item. And we're all talking about sustainability, and we want your kitchen to last. Everyone wants to live with a kitchen that they love for years. So, yep, you can paint your cabinets, you can change the handles, but changing stone is a big deal. So, how do you work with clients to make sure that they're secure in their choices?
This is something that we hear every day, is somebody wants a material that will really stand the test of time. So we have lots of things that are fun and trendy, but we also really encourage a homeowner to think about how long do they want to be in that home, and how long in between remodels do they typically go. Most people don't want to remodel their kitchen every 10 or 15 years or ever. A lot of people say one and done. This is our one shot and we're done.
And so, as I was saying before, one of the things that really irritates me are the designers that go, oh, you have to have the Edison lights and you have to have this big waterfall. And then the next day they go, oh, that is so passé, we're moving on. Yeah. No, that is not your kitchen. It is not sustainable. We don't want to rip them up. You want to choose choices that are a kitchen that you'll love forever.
Absolutely. So we have the benefit of working specifically with quartz, which is maintenance free, guaranteed for life. A lot of our materials are lifetime warranty. They don't show their age. They don't scratch, they don't stain, so that gives you kind of a really good base. But then when it comes to design and color, we really encourage homeowners, especially if they don't plan to remodel or they don't want to go through the pain of remodeling, is we encourage them to choose colors that are really classic and give them a good base for design. So you can paint and you can do your hardware and you can do things surrounding that, but choosing something that's really classic in design is a really good way to start.
And appliances will come and go as technology increases. I mean, every gadget that I have is smarter than I am.
Right.
And so I mentioned this to you. It's a microwave, steam, and convection oven. Wow, they're not common yet, but they will be coming in. So you'll want to update your appliances as you go, but you really want a sustainable basis for your kitchen.
I agree.
So what about financing?
So we do have a financing option. One of the brands we work with is Minnesota Made Cambria, and they have both a 6-month and a 12-month option. So if you're needing financing or just not wanting to pull from your cash reserves, then that's a great option. And we can incorporate the entire project, all of the labor, the sinks and the faucets in that finance package as well.
So some people take out an equity loan to do a whole kitchen, but the countertops alone aren't enough to really do an equity loan. So either, some people take out cash or their savings, but then there are some options to finance it as well. So what's a realistic timeline for people to think about either replacing their cabinets or remodeling their kitchen?
So the typical timeline for countertops, I would say after the selection process, because that selection process is so individual to each person, how much time it takes.
What's the longest it's ever taken somebody to
goodness. Usually 2 to 3 visits to the showroom. Okay. We should be able to have everything selected. Some people do need to live with those samples at home a little bit longer than others, but usually a couple of weeks.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah. Once you've decided and you're ready to move forward, we are just a couple weeks out for a measure, and then as I mentioned, fabrication is about 3.5 weeks.
So we're talking about 2 months.
Couple months.
Great. So what about clients' expectations? We're all watching reality TV. I mean, people saying it's house porn. People watch it all the time. And we've got our shows. What's a reasonable, realistic timeline and expectations that people have? How disruptive is it?
The beauty about just doing a countertop replacement is that we only need to be in your home for a few days. So it shouldn't be too disruptive. I usually kind of encourage a homeowner, make a couple crock pot meals or use it as an excuse to go out for dinner.
You and Airbnb for a couple of days. Yes.
Yeah, but we really, to do the whole countertop replacement is a matter of 3, maybe 4 days.
Super. So that's huge cut down
it's pretty easy to manage.
Right. So anything else you'd like people to know about you, your selections, or the process?
Yeah, so one thing that we love to share is that we are a family-owned business.
I think that's huge.
Myself and 3 of my brothers in Minnesota, and then I have 3 brothers in our Chicago location. So we just love sharing our space with our community, and we do guarantee our work for life, and we really feel like our reputation is on the line every time someone comes in the showroom.
There's such a big difference with family-owned businesses because you have an investment in every single client and you have your family reputation.
It's very true.
And I appreciate that because then you get really personalized service and you know that they're serious. So Select Services has been in business how long?
27 years.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Tanya, thank you so much for letting us come in and chat with you today. Can you tell people where they can be in touch with you?
Absolutely. So our showroom locations and hours are listed on our website, selectsurfaces.com, or you could call our main line at 651-483-1576.
And you have 2 showrooms,
We
correct?
do, Roseville and Plymouth.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mary Jo.
And thank you so much for watching. Please do come again. And again, please sign up below. It always makes me feel good to hear from you. And if you have questions, concerns, want to be in touch with somebody, or let me know what else you'd like to hear. Thanks again, and I'll see you next week.